Hello everyone, today we're in Gansu Province, just next to Shanxi Province, where Xi'an is and where I live. And today we are going to a place called Maijishan. It's a collection of very famous Buddhist grottos. Okay, onwards and upwards. A lot of places in China, like scenic spots and things, they always put like piped music on. I think it's to try to add to the feel, and it's a bit strange though. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I'm not actually sure where the entrance to the mountain itself is. I haven't seen any signs for a while. I will find some way. The trees behind me are full of birds. Again, living in a city like Xi'an, it's a rare sight. A bit of nature, it's what I need in my life. Okay, up there, that's where we're going. I can see a few people walking around on the walkways there. So the grottos here are impossibly steep. Basically they're built into the side of this big mountain. It's called Maijishan, which means like haystack mountain or wheat stack mountain. So the sculptures behind me are the biggest on the mountain. The middle Buddha is 16 meters tall. They were made in this Sui dynasty, which is about 500 AD, and they were heavily restored in the Song dynasty a few hundred years later. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. A lot of the sculptures here still have a lot of pigment on them, which is quite rare. Obviously it's really open to the elements here. It's cold and there's not much protection from the wind really. So it's quite surprising. Literally everywhere you look is just full of statues, paintings. It's unbelievable. So there's been work going on this mountain for 1600 years. Construction began here in the Northern Wei dynasty. It's about 300 to 500 AD, and it's been ongoing for 1600 years. So basically, with successive dynasties, they just kept adding and adding and adding to it. And as you can see, work continues. So there are over 200 caves on this mountain, and about 7,800 different statues. Obviously, some ranging from being only like a few centimeters tall to the huge ones we saw earlier. Basically, this tradition of Buddhist cave building and grotto making, it actually doesn't come from China originally. It came from India, and obviously travelled along the Silk Road. So obviously, where we are now in Gansu Province, big Silk Road route. Obviously, a lot of things travelled on there. Religion, of course, being one of them. So there are a lot of Chinese Buddhist grottos, but there's four which are regarded as the most famous ones. So there is this one here, Maijishan, which is probably the least famous of the four, and obviously the least visited. It's really, really quiet. There's the Longmen grottos near Luoyang in Henan Province, and the Yungang grottos in Shanxi. And the most famous of all are the Mogao grottos, also in Gansu Province, near the city of Dunhuang. If you're looking for a nice trip though, when you're in China, obviously it's a little bit off the beaten path this. If you go elsewhere, for example, if you do go to Dunhuang, or if you go to Longmen, they are busy places, and they get loads and loads of tourist traffic. Here, however, basically, I mean, hardly anyone comes through Tianshui traveling anyway. So if you are on the way, certainly between Xi'an and Lanzhou, it's worth a stop for a day, definitely. The vast majority of the caves have these wooden doors on them and kind of a really fine mesh over the top, and really you can't see anything at all inside them. That's my only criticism, really. Obviously it's to protect them from the elements and the sun, because the sun is really beating on this, especially in the morning. But nevertheless, I think it'd be quite nice to be able to see a little bit more. But there is still plenty to see. Great place. When I came here today, I was a bit worried. I've actually been to Tianshui and I've been to Maijishan before. It was a long time ago that I came in 2008. And when I came then, it was also winter and snowing, and there was nobody here as well. But you know, the tourist industry has changed a lot in 10 years in China. I thought it might be rammed full of people, but luckily, still got it to myself. Right, working our way down now. It's actually quite a steep climb, but it's all steps, so it's nothing too terrible. Right, that was Maijishan. Let's get on the bus and get into Tianshui, because I'm hungry. So we're in Tianshui. Tianshui basically has two different parts to it. There's one part which is called Maiji district, and another part which is here, which is the Qinzhou district. And although it's all classed as Tianshui, the city, there's like 20 kilometers between the two. So basically, if you arrive by train, what that means is you're not actually in the proper part of Tianshui, which is this part here. So this is the Fuxi Temple. It's got a pretty hardcore feel to it, you know. It's like it feels like a frontier town, despite being here for about 5,000 years. I imagine it's kind of what Xi'an was like about 30 years ago, to be honest. A bit run down, a bit dusty. It's alright though, I kind of like it. So I'm absolutely starving. I've got to find something to eat. And when I was on the bus on the way back, two very nice ladies from Wuhan gave me a couple of oranges. Yeah, took pity on me maybe. It's very sweet of them though. Looks like it's time to get a little bit more built up and busy ahead of me. I guess I'm getting into the centre of the city where all the cool kids of Tianshui hang out. It's a small world in the most populous country on earth. Just walking down the street, I bumped into those two ladies that gave me an orange on the bus on their way to the place that I've just come from. Alright, so I've eaten. Life is good again. When you're in Gansu, you've basically got to eat lanzhou, Neuro Lamian, right? That's like a beef noodle dish from the capital city of this province, Lanzhou. Amazing, so good. So I didn't want to film in that restaurant. It was a bit busy and tiny, and I didn't want to really bother people. Random little place, so it was really hardcore and kind of old and dirty. And for whatever reason, the walls were covered in pictures of beef eaters, red telephone boxes, and the Queen's Guard. And they were playing Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men. Strange times in Tianshui. So I guess this is the main city square. It's pretty nice actually. There's so many people out doing things like playing cards, gambling, illegal in China, and dancing and singing, all sorts of stuff. It's pretty nice. Average age about 100 though. Makes you feel young. So Jiefanglu is like the main street that goes through the town. And then at the end of it, when you get to the square, it becomes like a big pedestrianised area. It's pretty nice. I wasn't too sure when I first got back from Maijishan, like if I was going to have a decent day or not. But it's pretty nice. There's a lot of nice things around actually. So the sun's just starting to go down. So I'm going to sign off there because I've got to head back to the train station. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really, really nice time. To be honest, it's a lot different from how I remember it 10 years ago. It is a lot more developed, but it still kind of keeps its roughness, I think. Yeah, I've had a really nice day, surprisingly so. Maijishan is definitely worth a visit. If you are anywhere in the area and you can take a detour to get there, I'd fully recommend it. I mean, it's unlike the other Buddhist grottos in that there's nobody there, which obviously gives it a much nicer feel. The town of Tianshui is also quite nice. You know, there's a few sites if you want to go and do them. I just went to one of them actually. But the actual town itself has a pretty good buzz about it. It's quite a good vibe. People have been really friendly. I met some nice people along the way. And yeah, it's been a really nice day. Anyway, I'm out. I've got to go back to Xi'an. Got to catch the bullet train home. So if you like the video, that's great. Please tick like and please hit subscribe. More videos on the way. Take care. Goodbye.